Welcome to Perfect Sports TV, and this is FANZONE with
Perfect Sports TV.
And we are here to talk about basically everything football, right? And I have a special guest here with us today, and his name is Cavani. We all know him, the former unsuccessful United player, very unsuccessful. And we have our usual guests in the house. We have Gerard and we have Michael. And it's very, very obvious that we're here to talk about the Champions League final against between Liverpool. Who plays Champions League final again?
Man City and Inter.
Manchester City taking on Inter Milan. That was a very, very crazy game. It was breathtaking, to be honest. Man City and Inter Milan, and it's going to be a very, very interactive session. To be honest, what do you think about that game? I'm speaking with Mr. Michael. What do you think about that game?
I have to say I wasn't really expecting that kind of energy from Inter. They came with a lot of energy and a lot of intensity in the game, and also Man City also, as usual, they always have played their possession game, but they couldn't play it yesterday. I was even surprised based on the whole Inter played with 5 midfielders and choked up the midfield for Man City. But it was a very interesting game actually. Both sides had good chances, but Man City was just on the lucky side. Yeah.
So Man City was on a lucky side. That's what Michael says. Manchester City was on a lucky side. Gerard, do you agree with that?
I don't agree with Man City being on the lucky side. Because they played for it. They scored. You can't say to score a goal is luck.
And Inter didn't play for it.
Inter missed their chances. You saw the way Martinez was just playing. He was not serious. We see our player, the Man City, they wanted to win. They did not come there to come and do
deflection.
You understand?
I'm sure you remember it was a deflection actually.
It was not a deflection. It was not a deflection. Rodrigo struck the ball into the post.
No, it was
struck the ball into the post.
It was deflection from Bernardo's crossing into the box.
It was not a lucky goal. Look, Bernardo he drove the ball past the defender. Tried to pass the ball to another player.
Was it Bernardo who scored the goal?
No, it was Rodrigo that scored the goal. Actually.
So what are you saying?
So I'm saying that he actually struck the ball to the post direct. He knew what he wanted to do there. He did not just.
But did he walk? Did he walk? What he was trying to do? Did he walk?
Bernardo.
Yeah, what he was trying to do? Did he walk?
It didn't work actually, but it was a loose ball.
It was a loose ball.
You understand?
So Gerard does not agree with Mr. Michael. He says that Manchester City was not on a lucky side. What do you think about that? Inter Milan had very, very, very good chances in the game, and one really crazy thing about that game was, why would the coach put on Edwin Dzeko and leave out Romelu Lukaku? What do you think about that, Mr. Cavani?
Okay, before the coach go bench Dzeko for the match, I believe say he don't watch their two play.
Okay.
And he know the best person to start for the team. Definitely not everybody go start.
Normally.
You guys pick your best team to start the match, because I know say the man carried the winning mentality for the match.
So you feel like that was the question now is like, do you feel like that was the best idea for him to do? Because when Romelu Lukaku came on, we saw his performance, to be honest, because when Romelu Lukaku came, everyone can actually attest to that, right? Romelu Lukaku actually made the game more intense for the opposition, Man City. You understand? And Edwin Dzeko was, to be honest, it was very, very soft in that game, and in my opinion, I feel like that's idea that the coach actually had to bench Romelu Lukaku and start Edwin Dzeko. That was a very wrong idea, to be honest. What do you think about that, Michael?
Like you said, the coach had this game plan. I actually think that the coach wanted to play this, use Dzeko to play hold up play, then link up with Lautaro Martinez. I think that was the initial game plan.
Speaking of Lautaro Martinez, I don't know. Everyone's going to be like, some people might have been like, oh, Lautaro Martinez played a very wonderful football, but to be completely honest, I don't agree with that. I don't know what any of you think about that, but in my opinion, I don't agree with that because there were actually obvious chances that that lad had, but he threw it away because Man City could have, easily won. I mean, Inter Milan could have easily won that match, but that was not the case because Lautaro Martinez actually missed, like a clear chance where he could have been able to easily pass to Romelu Lukaku, and Romelu Lukaku could have, netted the ball, but he selfishly played that ball, and Ederson, did what he usually does during games, and that was quite unfortunate for Lautaro Martinez and the Inter Milan team. So, guys, I'm going to ask a question now, right? Do you think Haaland, Michael? Do you think Haaland deserves a Ballon d'Or for next season?
Well, I actually think he does. Right now, he won the treble and was a very important part to them winning the treble this season. And his goal contribution and everything he's done for the team. He also won the Premier League Player of the Season and every other individual award. So basically, I think he deserves to win the Ballon d'Or, obviously.
So the fact that Manchester City won the treble, that's why Haaland can actually win the Ballon d'Or. But we have what's his name? We have Alvarez. Alvarez won the World Cup, right?
Exactly.
And we also have Kevin De Bruyne. What do you think? Do you agree with Michael on that?
I don't agree with Michael because winning the Champions League, winning the treble, actually does not give you that guarantee that you win the Ballon d'Or. The Ballon d'Or does not necessarily mean your winnings, right? It's your performance, actually. We saw how Haaland performed during the season when maybe De Bruyne is not on the field. We see him that he does not score goals. I mean, Haaland does not score goals if De Bruyne is not on the field, right? So, if we want to talk about achievement and winnings, you will call Alvarez now. Alvarez has won practically what no other player, if I can even recall, has done in a season. He won the World Cup this season and the treble this season. So, will you tell me that he's guaranteed now to win the Ballon d'Or? No.
So what was his Alvarez? Who do you think should win? What was his Alvarez performance?
Right now, if I want to give a player the Ballon d'Or, to me, sef, they should not even hold this thing this year because no player performed. I don't.
What do you think? What do you think about that, Mr. Cavani?
Well, Alan, a good player, sure. But I would choose. I would pick De Bruyne over Haaland because
Okay, you're going to calm down. You're going to pick De Bruyne over Haaland. Hold that microphone. You're going to pick De Bruyne over Haaland.
Yes.
Why is that?
90%, if not up to 90, of their goals this season was contributed by De Bruyne.
But Erling Haaland actually broke the Premier League goal scoring record of 32 goals.
Someone gave him the assist now before he scored.
Was it only De Bruyne who gave Haaland assist?
A majority of the goals from Haaland was assisted by De Bruyne.
So that's it by De Bruyne.
Yes.
Do you have numbers?
That's not true, actually.
All right.
De Bruyne has 16 assists in the Premier League, and I think Haaland has
Haaland has 36 goals.
36 goals.
So who assisted
who
him?
assists the remaining 20.
I feel if we're talking about goals right now, then I will talk about Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Because Harry Kane actually surprised me this season, having 30 goals in the
So you
Premier
feel
League.
Harry Kane should win the Ballon d'Or?
If we no see because people are giving Haaland this Ballon d'Or because he scored many goals.
No, not because he scored many goals.
Harry Kane scored 30 goals in Tottenham. We know how Tottenham performed this season.
I talked about goals. I'm not saying maybe they are giving, because to be honest, in my opinion, right? In my opinion, I'm going to give Haaland the Ballon d'Or because first of all, he came to England, right, from a everyone calls the German Bundesliga a farmers league, and then he came
Yeah.
and it did not just come. It did not just score goals, right? He came and then he broke the goal scoring record of the Premier League, and that's amazing. To be honest, let's be honest with each other. And then he comes, wins the Premier League, wins the FA Cup, wins the Champions League for one team in one season, his first season, right? That's for me. That's enough to give him the Ballon d'Or. I don't know how Ballon d'Or actually does it with these players, but I feel like that's enough to give a player
Yeah.
the Ballon d'Or. To be honest,
Is it
And
the
he
highest
also
goal
won
scorer in Champions League?
I don't know. I didn't check
I
that.
think so. I think
Is the highest goal scorer in Champions League, right?
Yeah. I think it should be.
That man, that lad is doing wonderful. Speaking about the treble, right? There was one manager who won it in the Premier League before Pep Guardiola, and that is the great man called Sir Alex Ferguson. And then I think he won it in the 1999 season. I don't know, 1995, 1999. I don't know, but he has won the treble before, and Guardiola comes back in the 2022-2023 season to win the treble, which is very, very much fascinating. Now the question is, guys, do you think which treble do you think, or which manager do you think actually did it better? Speaking of having the treble, do you think Alex Ferguson, did it better, or maybe Mr. Josep Guardiola? I'm talking about you, Mike.
I actually think Sir Alex Ferguson did it better.
You know, I bet. Sorry, when you say Sir Alex Ferguson, I'm not sure any of us here watched the match. We're not even born by then because the Alex Ferguson time to win the treble, we don't even know. I was not even born because I cannot even follow that match because even the screen to watch, I can't even watch it.
But facts and figures are always going to be there.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to. You don't necessarily have to go back in time to know what happened during the Biafra War, right?
Mhm.
Right, we don't even need to go.
So you can actually go there, look at the facts and figures. People in the next I don't know 20, 30 years are going to talk about Pep Guardiola. They don't necessarily have to be here to watch it. They are going to know if Alex Ferguson or Pep Guardiola. So my only advice for you is to do your little research and come back to me. You know what we're talking about. This is Perfect Sports TV. Well, so speaking about managers, Mr. Cavani, do you think Alex Ferguson is better than Pep Guardiola, or do you think Pep Guardiola is better than Alex Ferguson?
I think Sir Alex Ferguson is better than Pep Guardiola.
Wait. What team do you support?
Manchester United.
Manchester United. These Manchester United fans. But anyways, you think Alex Ferguson is better than Pep Guardiola? Why do you think so?
Okay. Coming back to the treble, both won. During the time Alex Ferguson won the treble, there were a lot of tough defenders in the league and Europe at large.
So they're not tough defenders in the league now.
I don't think the defenders cannot be compared to the defenders as at then.
So that's your
Now,
take.
Now football they just play for money. There's no passion anymore. Unlike then, you can break your head
Okay.
just to save your team. We saw that with Ferdinand and Vidic during
Yes.
their days. Uh-huh.
So what's my very good friend here says? A very good friend here. He says, Alex Ferguson is better than Pep Guardiola. What do you think? You should write that. You should, comment. You should drop that in the comment section. What you think? Do you think Alex Ferguson is better, or do you think Pep Guardiola is better than Alex Ferguson? Like, who's the better manager, Alex Ferguson or Pep Guardiola? Drop it there in the comment section. And I'm going to end with this, right? You're a Man United fan. You're a Chelsea fan. Okay, and you are a Man United fan. Very good. Now the question now is, who do you think? Right, I'm going to start with Mr. Michael. Michael, who do you think is going to win the Premier League next season? I need you to give me that one real quick. I'm giving the microphone.
I remember I said earlier, Man City are going to win the Premier League. Um, because of the way they are now, the team is very strong, and based on winning the Champions League now, it obviously builds their confidence and their morale. So moving into the next season, so I actually think they stand a good chance of actually retaining the title. Actually,
They are going to retain the title. Michael says, I'm going to repeat that. Michael says, Manchester City, the treble winners of the 2022-2023 season, are going to retain the title next season, and we're going to have to watch out for that. And we're going to come for Michael if they don't win. We're going to flog him on the show here. Note that. Mr. Cavani, who do you think is going to win the Premier League next season?
Well, the Premier League just ended. It's too early to start discussing.
Who do you
about-
think? Who do you think? Well, we're not being calm down. We're not being too serious here, but no one knows who's going to win. No one knew
Okay.
who was going to win this season,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
that's true.
like in your opinion,
I
because
think-
there's going to be calm down. There's going to be different transfers. No one even thought Liverpool was going to be this bad this season. Let's be honest, because Liverpool finished in a very, very wonderful position last season, but Liverpool came back really soft. Nobody knew Newcastle was going to finish in the top 4. No one. If I told you 2 seasons ago Newcastle was going to finish, so you're going to be laughing, right? Now, it's a very easy question. We have Luton Town coming into the Premier League. We have Burnley, and we have who else do we have? Is it Sunderland or I don't know, one other team? I've forgotten the team, but we have these teams coming, and they're obviously going to change the league, or probably they're going to give Man United points, a lot of points, maybe 6 points in the league. But all these teams are going to come, right? Sales are going to be made, buys are going to be made by different clubs, right? So I need you to consider all these things while talking about who's going to win the Premier League next season. So in your opinion, after knowing all these things I've said, who do you think is going to win the Premier League next season, 2023-2024 season?
Well, currently, I think Man City is the best team in England.
So you still stand with Man City?
No, I don't stand with Man City,
Mm-mm.
but
A fake Man United fan. I'm listening.
I don't stand with Man City, but I know other EPL teams would sit up next season and compete the league. with,
I don't know why Man United fans don't talk about their club. Is that's very bad. Like no one
not serious.
no one trusts Man United. Man United is going to win the Premier League next season. You can come for me. You can come and you can. In fact,
I don't think.
No, you see-
I don't think
my message-
United have the
my
right
message
squad to
box-
win.
He knows.
my message
He
box
knows
is going to be open. You are going to message me next season,
I
and
don't
if
think
Man United doesn't win the
can-
league next season, if Man United doesn't win the league next season, I'm going to give you guys a sum of nothing. I'm not going to.
Well, let-
a team without a number 9 win the Premier League.
What do you say?
A team without a number 9.
Give me the microphone so that they can hear him very clearly.
How will a team without a number 9 win the Premier
You know, Man United can actually buy players, right? I know that Man United they are. Look at Chelsea
Okay.
fan talking.
Okay.
Look at Chelsea fan talking.
Let's wait and see. They might loan Igalo from Saudi.
Well, okay, they might loan him back because
They might loan him
Man
from
United is a
Saudi.
long club. But I feel like Man United actually stands a chance of doing something crazy. Especially, I'm really hoping and praying that the Glazers find. So I don't know if they're obsessed with the team or they're obsessed with the club that they are not trying to sell it. But if the club actually goes to the hands of the Qataris, I'm very, very sure that Man United is going to come out very, very strong. And I'm praying that the Qataris actually buy Man United. I've not asked you the question, Mr. Gerard. Mr. Gerard, our humble pundits, who do you think, in your honest opinion, is going to win the Premier League next season?
I think Chelsea is going to win the Premier League next season. And you know why? You know why I say that, right? Whenever, if you look at the stats right now with the way the Premier League teams are going, whenever they change ownership, the year they change that ownership, there are going to be problems, right? But the next season, they're going to take it more serious because they want to impress their new owners. Take a look at Newcastle. I mean, none of us here would imagine Newcastle ending up where they ended up this season because they changed their ownership and everything. Well, we know Man U normally have a good record in the Premier League but they cannot win the Premier League. Chelsea, we know what Chelsea always do, right? Between Man U and Chelsea now, Chelsea is the latest.
What does Chelsea always do?
We win trophies all the
Okay.
time.
Just like what Joseph says. Joseph said, if you can go back to the last video, we attract trophies, and very unfortunate for a Chelsea fan to be this delusional. I'm very sorry, but you heard that. This is Perfect Sport TV once again, giving you the latest sports news, sport transfers, and sport facts. If you're trying to get any sporting information, thank you very much. Just click on Perfect Sport TV. We're always here for you. Have a wonderful time. Thank you.